Welcome Nottingham to the Monday, March 3rd meeting. We will start the meeting with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For everybody, the town report is available. If you want to look at it, stuff before, well, we don't have a town meeting anymore, but in case everybody's curious.
Before you vote.
Yeah, before you vote, doesn't. Minutes. Oh, Steve, did you want to say something?
What?
Everybody, Steve Soroff.
I feel like Stephen Hook. I want to commemorate this picture in honor of the, you got it, you can email it, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I don't want in this incredible moment, as a reporter, as someone who's followed the town and lives in it, and yes, I'm listed on the master plan as a resident. This is your last meeting, John, that you're presiding over.
Sure. Yep.
I want to personally thank you, but from the Historic Society and from the town, for all the work you've done and all you continue to do. So we thought we would bribe a public official with this commemoration of the first new T-shirt from the Historic for you. Stand up, hold it up, show it.
Try it on.
matches what you're wearing. Dave.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Okay, well, and then we can, I want to really dance it up with this picture and that.
My mom would be so happy.
That's right. You got it?
I got you.
And you can send it to me, right?
Yes.
Good.
Thanks.
Anyways, I want to just, as a person that followed this group, and just thank you, and the town thank you for all you've done.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
Now, can I get a new doc?
Sure. Absolutely.
This is for you, Tim. What do you call a farmer whose head is in a computer screen? Farmer in the dell?
You have a day job, Steve?
Thanks again, Steve. Appreciate
It's
it.
day job.
All right, approval of the accounts payable and payroll.
I'll make a motion to approve the manifests and payroll, or accounts payable and payroll of 3/3 and 3/4.
I'll second. I just had two quick questions on it. I know you're just getting back, but the expense for the grader, was that from the prior invoice, or is that a new expense that was from February?
I haven't seen the expenses yet, so I
Okay,
can't answer
okay,
that,
so-
but I can get an answer for
Okay.
you.
That, and then I'm assuming the Chris
Was it from Windmill for approximately 18 and change?
No, it was $4,380.
Okay. I'll have to look into it.
Okay. And then same thing with Questers for like $8,000. I'm assuming we paid that, but then the insurance company's gonna reimburse us?
That is correct.
Okay. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. Good to be brought up. So we got a motion and we have a second. All set with questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from 2/24. Do we do, no, yeah, we should do them separate, right? The public minutes from 2/24.
I think you can do both.
Or should we do all three? Well, maybe, yeah, I guess we could probably do both. So, the public and non-public minutes from 2/24.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for February 24th, 2025. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Matt Sherlin, abstain.
Perfect.
I'll make a motion that we approve the non-public minutes from, I don't know the date on that one.
February 3rd.
February 3rd.
February 3rd.
Chairman,
Sorry?
motion non-public,
February 3rd.
thank you.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the non-public from February 3rd. All in favor, say aye. Aye. We'll go with signed boards and committees. We did have a planning board meeting last week. There is 4 members of the planning board that are no longer going to be on the planning board, so it'll be a very new planning board, very new planning board coming up. 2 of the positions were, one was a fill-in position, one was also for a 1-year term, and one was Ed Veal, who was ending his term, you know, as chair, and obviously he's not committing to come back on, so, and then obviously I'm gone, but that's, so 4 people, but thank you, John, for, I'm not saying that he's got appointed to that position yet, but John has been regularly attending the meetings recently, so for this next meeting you have coming up, because I think there's a candidate over there for that planning board position, if you wanted to sign up for it, just in case. But so yeah, so it's something to you, for you guys, it's gonna be a, I mean, I guess we'll see with the new candidate that comes on, and then who fills in for the other positions, but, you know, Ed Veal is definitely a loss because of his 12 years almost, or whatever, of experience on the board, or something that, you know, he really knew where to look to make sure things were getting crossed, but that is one of the benefits to the SRP, you know, the
SRPC, you were good.
SRPC. That is something, you know, maybe even next year, I know we break it out of our budget, we put it back in the budget, but being the board, being really new, they're really gonna rely on that service for going for all the, you know, subdivision regulations, and there's so much information that's something maybe, you know, for you to consider.
The chairs leading that committee?
Yes, Ed is no longer, yeah, he's just, didn't rerun, so he's not there. So, just something to be aware. We had a quick meeting, we had Nottingham Business Park, which I guess we're gonna see him hopefully maybe tonight. When they were at the meeting, they were just going over stuff, and what they were looking for is if the board was gonna grant them, you know, waivers for them to put lights inside the house, but they haven't finished the exterior. So we're not allowing lights to go in, because that's interior work that goes under a building permit, which is different from the scope of what they're doing around the yard. So, but they wanted to see if they could get the point of putting lights in for the fact of, for showing the property. The board still said no, so. Kind of just, how much lenient, we've been very nice as a group, so. But again, we can talk about that stuff when they come in, about whatever they're looking for now, so. And that was it.
All right, CIP met Thursday. Kind of just wrapping up from the previous year's, you know, activities. Couple things we talked about doing for the future is moving to a 10-year plan instead of this, the regular 6, 7. Bumping up the value from 10,000 up to 15,000. Leaving the funds out of the CIP themselves, the capital improvement funds that we've been capturing, because they're not actually capital improvements, they are just funding mechanisms.
John, I didn't understand, what, can you go from 10 to 15,000, what does that mean?
So the current capital improvement program is a cost of $10,000.
No, that's the thing you deal with,
So
Yeah,
if
it's
it-
for assets exceeding a
For
value.
assets that exceed $10,000.
Okay,
So we want to move that up from 10,000 to 15,000.
gotcha, thank you.
That's just because everything's getting more expensive.
Right, exactly. Things are more expensive,
Doesn't work out.
yeah. So we did want to keep the useful life of 3 years. We're just going to do high, medium, and low prioritization. And we wanted to talk about potentially doing the CIP process early, like asking for the forms from the department heads, like in June. Because if we do that, then it could be prepared in time for budget season. And looking around at some of the local towns, they've done stuff more like in the summer months. So, but that's pretty much covers what we have for that.
The master plan committee meets Wednesday here at 6:30. Our first meeting of probably 10. Is that what they said?
Yeah.
9 or 10. So I'll report back on that. And the rec department has a very busy 5 to 6 weeks ahead. John, I really do think you should sign up for dodgeball and donuts. They're looking for adult teams. So here's your,
I could probably actually do that. That would actually be.
here's your opportunity. I did participate last time. I'm still sore, but it was fun. They had their egg hunt on April 12th, Puzzle Palooza on March 13th.
That's canceled.
Puzzle Palooza is.
But the puzzle is off.
It is, we had 0 signups.
If you don't pay
No
for the
signups?
training for it,
I know.
it's a puzzle.
Maybe next time.
And then
Egg Wednesday, egg what?
April 12th.
Go.
And then community cleanup day is Saturday, April 19th.
It's outside, though.
What?
It's outside, not inside.
Like, okay.
We got 7 weeks for the snow to melt.
Yes.
Or were you making a comment how you didn't think this building was nice enough and we should be cleaning in here? Is that where you're going, Steve?
No, I'm trying to do a weed training for the PLA. And
We can do it on a separate day, Steve. Beach cleanup. Maybe when you're done with the training, they can go out and help.
ooh, so what time is it?
All right.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah, cool.
I'll tell you later.
Moving on.
That's all I have.
Okay. Remember that. We got time for your town administrator's report before they're
Sure.
7 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can
It's
do
only on
that.
one page, so.
Okay. You stole my glory. The town reports are out. They were delivered on Friday, and we're in the process of delivering them. They're going to be available, they're obviously already available here at the town offices. They'll be at both Nottingham and West Nottingham Post Office, the Blaisdell Memorial Library, over at the SAU office, and anywhere else that we see fit to drop them off. But if you're looking for a paper copy, we do have a limited supply. But there's also an electronic version on the town's website. It's linked to both the 2025 town meeting information that's under the news and announcements, and then also permanently fixed under the About menu. Town and school voting is going to be held here in the Community Center gym next Tuesday, March 11th. The polls will be open.
What was it called, what?
Town voting
I'm trying to vote it, but
next Tuesday here in the gym, 7 to 7, the polls will be open. The moderator is going to begin processing absentee ballots starting at 9 o'clock that morning. Tomorrow, here in Conference Room 1, they will be testing the AccuVote ballot machine. That's just a standard testing. I believe they are still waiting on something from LHS to complete that testing, so as far as I know, it's still on for 9 a.m. tomorrow. There is a possibility of postponement. Apparel impact, I had presented to you the idea of putting in a clothing recycling bin. over at the recycling center. I met with Garrett, who is our lead contact from Raymond, just before I went on vacation last week, and they placed the container over next to the electronics bin at the recycling center last Tuesday, I believe. So we're going to be adding just a little blurb about the vendor to the town's website, just so everybody knows. But they are local, they're located in Hooksett. It's a family and veteran-owned and operated business. Just a small blurb from their website: nearly 10% of all trash in local landfills are textiles. Apparel Impact provides towns and municipalities the opportunity to reduce their landfills of textiles and recover them, creating more local jobs, reducing landfill waste, and reducing the town's overall budget spent on the disposal of textiles. So when I met with him, it's more than just shoes and clothing. I mean, oftentimes it's bedding or curtains. You know, if a property's been cleaned out, it's any type of recyclable fabric material. They try to keep it as locally sourced as possible, and then they have a really good program to provide back to the community and its members that we're going to be looking more into. But it is an additional option for people rather than just throwing it in.
What's the name of this group?
Apparel Impact. But it's another resource. I know that there's a lot of Planet Aid bins around the area. Planet Aid is global, and this keeps things a little bit more locally sourced and reused and recycled. So I'm hoping that works out well over there. The fire department has applied for the 2025 Volunteer Fire Assistance Fund, and they have been awarded 50% in matching funds, not to exceed $2,000 to be, and their plan is to use it towards the purchase of forest fire PPE, protective equipment. And the plan is to use $2,000 from their operating budget line item to cover the other 50% match.
What are they buying?
PPE for the forest fire department.
What is that?
I'm sorry?
What is it? What is it?
Personal protective.
Personal protective equipment.
Oh, okay.
Masks and helmets and gloves.
Right. And so I will be looking for you to make a motion to accept the 2025 Volunteer Fire Assistance Funds grant, and further to sign the grant agreement, and it will be coming at some point. The copy that I have is a scanned copy. I think Matt Curry was going to grab the original copy and drop it off for signatures. So if you are willing to accept the 50% matching funds up to $2,000.
Do we also have to make a motion to spend the additional funds?
No, because it's part of the operating budget.
I did have some questions on that.
Sure.
Because in that scanned copy, it says approved items, 11 shirts, 12 gloves, 7 goggles, and 7 helmets. But I'm not sure if this is a contract, it says requested items in the cover letter one.
Mm-hmm.
It says brush shirts, quantity of 10, brush gloves 17, goggles 10, helmets 10. So those numbers don't align, and I'm not sure what's up with that and
How it was originally calculated.
yeah.
The quantities may have been adjusted based on the grant award, because I think the initial application was for up to $5,000
Yeah, because
with
these,
a
I would
50%
think that
match.
the ones that, what I'm concerned with is what it looks like in the approved item list is gonna be less than the $4,000.
Okay. So if Matt happens to come through, we can ask him with the original agreement.
It was
Doesn't
just,
matter if
I
it's-
think they were just kind of clicking to get an approximate.
Yeah, right, I don't know if we have to abide by that or not, and, you know, it's more of the logistics. I'm all in favor of taking as much money as we can.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the 2025 Volunteer Fire Assistance Fund for not to exceed $2,000.
Correct.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And again, that grant agreement will require signatures. I believe there's room for 3 of you to sign when the original copy comes through. This was missed on the agenda this week, so I'm adding it into my report. Courtney has pulled together 3 quotes for shade structure for the playground, and if you don't mind, she will come up and talk to you about the 3 options she has to present to you and her recommendation to move forward.
Hello.
Hello.
So this was a project that I did submit under our CIP this past year. This back building is, if you've been back there, you know it's kind of an eyesore. It's also a heavily used area that we use all summer long through a lot of programs, the sports teams that use this field, all those kids utilize this property. So that's kind of why we decided to go for it. I also have a year where we have FonPar and our friends group, so I have a lot of volunteers who are ready to help, which is great. So the 3 quotes I attached in my proposal here is from Ultiplay, which is the company that we used for our playground structure out here. I have a really good relationship with him. They've given us some discounts. They've met the 15,000 quote, which is great. The other 2 companies that you'll see are far exceeding that. And so with that 15,000 quote, it also comes with full installation, which is amazing. And we'll get done with no questions asked, which is really great.
And they'll know how to put it together.
They will know how to put it together, and hopefully all the parts come with the right install manual. The shade structure, we are planning, there's an area that was cleared out a couple of years ago. That's a lot of overgrowth out here by the playground. So,
Is it going where the playground and the old building is?
yes.
In between there, that brushed
Yeah.
area there?
Yep. To make a picnic area and to make a place where people can kind of get out of the way.
What's the lifespan of these tents?
A long time.
20 years.
Yeah. Because what'll happen is we can pay the company a small fee. They partner with a bunch of departments around this area, and they will come and take them down before the winter. We store them, and they will come and put them back up.
So does just the cover come off, or?
Yep, the cover, they're just kind of, they're poles.
Right, do the poles
Yep,
stay out?
The poles will stay out. That's like
Okay.
playground equipment
Yeah.
type material.
All right, yeah, so it shouldn't be too bad to take the covers off.
No.
How much area is it gonna cover?
We have, what we are asking for is a 20 by 20 area, and then on
This
the
is for people at
corner.
home, I'm asking
Yeah,
the
yeah,
question.
that's okay.
Right.
And for the corner where, just to give it a little bit more shade, we're getting a 12 by 12, hopefully, to give people some area, and it will all have, it will all be visible to the kids on the playground, and so parents can get shade. It is a desert out there in the summertime.
Okay, so
So just a quick question, one of these quotes, the bottom one. MRC Recreation,
Yep.
that one had a 20 by 30. So
Yeah.
that was that just, you were hopping around with different,
I was, yep, trying to see
ideas.
which one would work.
okay.
Yeah.
So that, but the Utiliplay, the 15, that's 2?
Yep.
That is the,
That is the 20 by 20 and the 12 by 12, single post.
okay.
Yep.
And then, okay. Just looking at your pictures, so right when you come out, if you were to walk out the doors that are broken, they're gonna,
Yep.
that's where the 20 by 20 will be kind of tucked right in that corner.
Yep, tucked right there. And then closer towards the swing set, we were thinking of putting that 12 by 12.
Okay.
So these are tents on there?
They are, they're like industrial tents.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Yep.
interesting. Cool. All right, thank you.
Did you get choose the color, or is it only covering one?
I did, and it'll match the new structure, which will be great.
all right.
That makes sense, because I was looking through the different quotes and I was like, I understand now.
So this is gonna be useful for when it's sports time, during the summer and during the late spring and early fall when it's
Yeah.
warm out, for people to go with their kids, they could be over there, the kids can get shade.
Yep.
It's also a benefit for your summer
Parents can get
program.
shade.
Yes.
Parents can get shade, sure.
No, it's a huge benefit for our program. We
But
can
even for your
move,
outside summer program.
yep, we can move
which
arts
is-
and crafts over there, all that good
Stuff to
stuff.
do outside, keep
Yeah.
the kids more entertained instead of in the building,
Exactly,
fresh air.
Yep.
Good stuff like that for them.
absolutely.
Alright. So we need a motion?
I'll make a motion to expend up to $15,000 for the purchase of, to award a contract to Utiliplay for the purchase of a 20 by 20 and 12 by 12 shade structure.
I'll second.
Just to be clear, it's to come from the rec revolving fund.
Yes.
Yep.
To come from rec revolving fund.
We'll get a response anyways. All right, so we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks,
Great,
Courtney.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
When do you think it'll be installed by?
They said 3
June?
to 6 months, so I'm hoping beginning of summer.
June?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the idea. I don't know quite yet.
What's the name of the company you said?
Ultiplay. ULTI.
So the last of my report contains the 2025 voters guide that I was hoping to get your blessing on, or any changes, so we can get that published now that we're a week from voting time. It'll be good and fresh in everybody's mind. And just to go through the correspondence, so if you want to jump into your 7 o'clock, we can go back to that.
All right, we'll continue on. We have a 7 o'clock appointment right now. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Come on up.
Come on down.
This is for Nottingham Business Park, located out on Route 4. Did you guys see all this?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I gotta put that on Facebook.
Oh.
I don't even know how to use it, I'm not on it, so
Either day.
it's above my pay grade.
Say something stupid. All right, so Tom, I'm very familiar with you guys, everybody
Yep,
knows.
John.
You're looking for some waivers?
Yeah, well, would you like me just to explain?
Yeah,
I think probably.
Just for everybody that's listening on the phone, you
Yeah,
know,
just give them some
TV.
reference to it. So, I'm Tom Moulton, I have the property over at Nottingham Business Park on Route 4, Route 125. And we're in the process of rehabbing and building the old USA Springs building. It's been certainly an interesting experience from the engineering standpoint. I'll just try to quickly give you the overview of what we're looking for. What we are looking for is to see if we can get reimbursed for the application fee that we put in January. To characterize this, what happened, we applied last May, made a site application, and when we got into it, the previous company that was doing the engineering work for us, GM2, who were actually one of the original people who had done the site. One of the reasons I hired them because of their familiarity with the site, and I had a personal relationship, even unbeknownst to me, the guy I used to play hockey with was one of the lead engineers, Denny Hamill. Great guy, honest, hardworking guy, and long story short, Denny went through, it just took a long time to get this engineering done. He had some personal problems, lost a granddaughter, and he retired. So what I did midstream, because the engineering firm really wasn't responding to my needs to get this moving along, I hired another engineering firm to take over, Millennium Engineering, who's now working on the project. So we made the application, paid the application fee of, I think, $9,100 in May of last year. When we got into it, a lot of the data that GM2 had, in order for Millennium to put their name on, I guess it would be just like a lawyer or something else, they had to go and verify all the information. You just can't like restamp it because someone else did it. I understand that. They don't want the liability, and it makes sense. It was taking a lot longer. It was a lot of work to do, and it was taking a lot longer to than we anticipated for them to do that. I had to do all kinds, go through hoops to get all the electronic data and the files to them, to get them transferred. Long story short, it was taking a long time, and I was getting the feeling the planning board was getting a little frustrated with me, understandably so, because we had to continually, we were doing continuances. And I think, for lack of a better word, it's like, look, you guys are shit to get off the pot. I don't mean to, to say it like that, and so it was,
Actually might have said that, but
you
we're
might
not gonna go there.
No, probably. And I said, you know what, I don't want to, get off on the wrong foot with the board, so, in September, around September 20th, Alana had talked to us, and do you guys want to withdraw, or do you want to have a continuance? And I talked to the engineering firm, and they said, look, you're probably better off, we still have a lot more data to do, it might take us another 3 months to get it. So instead of wasting the board's time being a thing, again, maybe a little naive on my part, but I thought it was made sense, let's just withdraw until we get the information. We already pulled the Berlin permit, we were already building out there with permission of the town to get the structure with the tight, so we weren't going anywhere. It's not like we're abandoning the project, we're well into it. So, come January, when we get everything together, ready to submit to get into the February meeting, like everything, doing your homework at the last minute, it was about time you had to submit the application. We got everything ready, and then we said, and I'm assuming, well, they're just gonna let us submit, and we shouldn't have to pay a fee because we already paid that just, 4 months ago when we withdrew. And rather be safe than sorry, because again, we're on a time schedule trying to get things going, we said, look, and when I think we asked Alana, she says, look, I can't answer that question, because he said you have to bring a check. I said, what do we bring a check for? We already put a check in for this application. And I said, look, I don't want this thing to get bounced because of a technicality. He says, look, I'll pay we'll write another check. And then he says, you can go to we thought it might be the planning board, but then it was obviously the Board of Selectmen. So go to the board and ask them if they would just reimburse you the fee that we paid so we can keep the application going. So we're here tonight to ask you if you would be so kind to look at this and maybe just reimburse the fee that we paid that was just 4 months after we withdrew.
But the new one's more expensive, the new fee.
The new fee was, yeah. So we'll pay, I don't.
You'll pay the extra for the.
I'll pay the higher fee. It was $10,450 versus $9,100. I just asked the $9,100 to be returned. I think it's reasonable and fair, but
Just being clear to make sure the work.
No, look, if we get delayed, that's the penalty. I have no problem paying the larger fee.
And again, we didn't know at the planning board at the time of the difficulties he was having with the engineering firm, and it was many continuances. That was quite a few. So, and I think the board was getting to the point of saying, like, why do we keep putting you on our agenda if you're just
And
not showing up? So,
were there any costs incurred by the town during that time frame?
no, because it's just he's on the agenda. Here's your time slot at
There were.
7:30.
It was minimal. I think the original fee paid in 2024 was $9,410, of which Alana calculated $310 went to noticing, and
Yeah.
so that's where the $9,100 net fee came from.
Okay, so that's,
That covers the cost of the.
covers the cost of the noticing and any consulting or whatever.
Correct.
That was my question too.
I think it seems fair.
Yeah.
Well, again, yeah, I'm a big for this project. So, and again, not because I think it's going to be great for the town. So, it's nice to see the improvements finally going to the way they're going. And this site walk coming up on the 20th or 22nd. If you want to see what it's looking around the building, you're more than welcome to go over there on Saturday morning. Take a peek if you haven't been over there before. But this is a real one. So,
John, I went over there and couldn't believe it. They have a beautiful picture of what they're proposing.
right? Oh yeah.
And,
I mean-
it's very impressive.
Yeah, I think you'll be impressed with it.
If I could just interrupt for, just to make everybody aware that when they do come to do the walkthrough, it's on 155 entrance, not the 145. The 145 is where the sign is, and there's a gate across there, and it's not plowed. So it's the next one, which is up right across the street from Shea Concrete. So if the people come in that way, we'll have plenty of parking and everything for them. So it's,
You might wanna just send that to Alana just to make sure that they make a notice at their next planning board meeting.
Fine.
Talking about the site walk, so whoever's new chair can just briefly say, hey, listen, the site walk coming up this Saturday after this meeting is here or there, and just give her a heads up.
I
And
don't
she'll
want
just-
people showing up and all of a sudden they see.
No, right,
It's not plowed, but we
Right.
can't plow that because we don't have a site permit.
right.
When is this site walk?
I believe it's the 22nd of March
22nd is what I have for my notes.
at 10 o'clock, I believe.
If you haven't been out there, feel free to just pop your head in. It really looks a lot better than that big rush structure that was there. It's really looking good.
I went over there when there was nothing, or just a metal building, and the
Really?
trees were all growing up when the town first took it over.
Yeah, oh, really, yeah.
So I started in the,
It's night and day compared to that.
I'm
sure
very
it is.
anal with the property, like I spent a lot of money just, cleaning up around.
Someday I'll
the
get over there,
Weeds
just,
and
you know.
everything, yeah.
They're gonna start doing the skin on the building, next week. So by the time the meeting is, it's gonna take me months to close it in with the siding. So by the time we have the meeting, it's gonna,
it'll look like a real building.
I made a joke about it at the planning board. I said,
Yeah.
you guys, if you guys want to come by about 8 o'clock, and we'll have, we won't have any lights, you can come take a look at it, but,
We're not here talking about those.
I know.
but at that time though, most of the skin should be on the building, not the glass yet, but the skin. So I think you'll be very impressed that, the investment Tom has made for this building and for the town.
So to be clear, are we looking to reimburse the old, like, he paid the 2025 funds? And we're looking to
We have a check
reimburse?
that we're holding for the new fee amount calculates out to $10,210,
Yep,
of which, once the appropriate fees were withheld from 2024, they have like a $9,100 credit, if you will, on their account.
okay.
So Alana hasn't processed the check for the new fees until it was determined what was gonna happen with what they had already paid.
In terms of semantics, so he has the new check that we're holding, but we're essentially gonna cash the new check, but refund the 24 check?
Either that, or we have them write a new check for
For
the
the
difference.
I think depending on how we say it makes a difference, right? I don't know. I'm just making sure we're clear on exactly what we're
Right.
doing. Are we refunding, or we are amending the amount owed to the difference? There is a difference in. We either say, here's $9,100 back, we're keeping the check you gave us, or we're gonna say, you only owe us the difference of $1,000.
$210.
I assume the 9,100, the original check has already been,
Correct, because that was
We already
processed
have
in
it.
May of '24.
so it would be,
It'd be easier to just get a new check, but.
right, I think, yeah.
So,
So-
are we looking to more just amend the amount due between the new value and what he's already paid?
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, would you say because the fact of the applicant has already paid the $9,400 minus the $310 for, fees, whatever they went along to doing that, they have a credit of $9,100, but I don't know how to make this is not, we've never made a, so it's kind of just
Yeah, we don't
making it up as we.
don't have a lot of commercial properties being built in town.
So, all right.
So the difference is $1,110.
I'll take a stab at it.
All right, take a stab.
I'm
There you
gonna
go,
leave
John.
it blank, I'm gonna leave out the values so that they can be calculated outside of here. How's that sound? I make a motion that, we amend the amount due for this application to be the 2025 amount less what was paid for 2024, plus any previously incurred expenses from the 2024 application.
And that total will be $1,110.
It should be, right, approximately,
So we would write a check for, get rid of the other check and write a check for $1,100? Is that what I'm
assuming
saying?
that's what the
What the
math
math
works
is,
out.
what the math
Right,
works out.
whatever that math works
Yeah,
out.
I think it's like around 9,100 is a credit, so, but to your point, if it's
Yeah, right.
10,010, we'd write a check for, get rid of the other check, give you the one for the new 2025 amount was square.
I'm not gonna do the accounting.
Gotcha.
Let somebody else do that.
I'm with you, I understand,
Yeah, that'd just again,
yeah.
Ilana's still holding the check, right?
Correct.
It hasn't been cashed yet.
No.
So yeah, when you make your appointment this week or whatever, when you.
Yeah, I'll have Chris go up.
Right.
We'd have to pay to notice people twice, I get that, the $300 for the old one, the $300 for the new one, we pay for that. I appreciate your consideration.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, we're good.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much, appreciate it.
Look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, thank you, we'll see you on the 22nd or 3rd, right, Chris? 22nd. Which line?
Are we gonna go over the entire voting guide, or are you just looking for any changes? We've kind of done it all, I'm just curious.
It's your pleasure.
That's Chris Annis.
Thank you for putting it together.
Yeah, Chris, yes.
Thank you.
Did you wanna go over the entire voting guide, or do you have any recommended small changes for it?
You tell me what you want to do.
I want to know about.
I was just going to see if we should add anything to Article 22.
That's illegal, you can't vote for. I don't know which Article 22 is, let me go back and look at it.
No, I'm sorry. Yes, Article 22 is the Stevens Hill one.
Right, the one that's illegal.
Well, it's not,
Well, non-enforceable or,
no,
No.
it's
They one of
enforceable. The
It's-
issue is,
It's redundant.
if it gets voted down, we can perform,
I think this is good.
can't talk about it, Steve.
all right, Steve, sorry, I don't mean to cut your conversation off, guys, but we just can't, the mics are gonna pick up.
All right, so Article 22, I know we have some blurbs like, it's repetitive, whatever. If Article 22 gets voted down, no work can be performed regardless of the passing of the other warrant article on Stevens Hill Road because of the order and because of New Hampshire's no mean no law. So I'm just trying to figure out words that can be in there that say like, we couldn't because it would have put us over the tax cap, even though we do recommend it. If this is voted down, no work can be performed. And so I don't know how to put that on there, but it just really, I know the applicant wanted to try to withdraw it, but it was too late. He had already
Right.
submitted it. It's like, we're stuck. And he was trying
It
to
has
do
to
the
go
right
on the
thing.
ballot.
But
Maybe just explaining that, this road is, represented in Article.
But
if 22 fails,
if
Right.
22
No,
fails, we can't spend any
No, I
money
think you
on
gotta
it.
put that in there. Yeah, say this road is covered.
So but the select board, 0 to 5,
We
1 to 0 to 7, I know, but we're basically telling everybody by our votes not to vote for it.
I know.
Right,
But we want him
that's-
to vote for
But
it.
you're explaining.
But we're asking to vote, I'm just saying though, that right now, we're only probably getting, I don't know if I'd say fair 10% of the people that are gonna show up and vote. How do you get it so that the people,
I don't know. I don't know how to
I mean,
quickly
the people on
change that.
Stevens Hill should hopefully come out and force to vote for it.
Or a
I mean,
little snippet that gets put out onto the,
do you think it's gonna get around enough?
if people talk about it on the town pages, the different Facebook
Okay.
pages maybe, but we couldn't
No, we can't.
recommend it because it would
Nope.
put us over the tax cap
right.
from what we can recommend.
Correct.
We recommend it in that if you vote it down, we cannot do any work on Stevens Hill Road. So that's,
This is on 22,
Correct.
yes, Article 22.
so what are you trying to say?
We would really recommend, I don't know how to say it. We can't recommend it, we couldn't recommend it when the article came out because it would put us over the tax cap. But due to New Hampshire's no mean no law, if Article 22 fails, we cannot perform any work, even if the other warrant article passes on Stevens Hill Road for the 2025 year.
So both need to pass in order for Stevens Hill to, I think that's all he's gonna say.
If Article 22 passes, we can work on Stevens Hill. The other one, it was vague enough to say or any other road, so like,
Right.
if it fails, you can still do work on roads. This one, if it fails, we can't do anything.
Well, yeah, we can do.
And I asked if,
until-
in the meeting, right, because even if you vote yes on the first one, because like later on you vote no, if maybe they were flopped, you vote no, then yes, but it's weird how that works. So I don't know what needs to be put in there, I just wanna reiterate. It's imperative that Article 22 probably should pass if you want Stevens Hill Road to not be a mud bog.
Well, this is for highway and maintenance on Stevens Hill. Crap, is that thing? You know, thank you for writing warrant, never mind.
Yeah.
Citizens petition articles, this is where it gets,
Reconstruction and maintenance, so I mean, it is literally,
that doesn't include snow plowing, though, thank God.
no. So we're just stuck.
That is,
Do you feel comfortable putting some wording together? then?
Yeah, I can,
Just a bullet, if this fails, no, I don't know.
right.
Right.
Well, we can put the reasoning, I mean, it's kind of stated why we couldn't support it. However,
Originally, but,
right,
but now we like it.
We've always wanted it, but we couldn't due to the tax cap.
I can write that out. I'll report it. Like,
Great, I'll take your,
for the two people who read it.
hey, every vote counts.
and maybe even
Some votes
reducing
count,
the.
1 or nothing.
Included, like, maybe reduce some of the reasons why you wouldn't vote for it.
okay.
I don't know. But other than that, I looked through everything and it seems fine, I understand. The fund balances, everything looks good, good information in here for people to see.
And it is interactive, most of all the links go to the information on the town's website.
What's on the town website, this whole thing?
This will be published once we have discussion. It'll be posted on the town's website under that 2025 town meeting information under news and announcements. But what it is it's the town warrant, and it has an explanation, a select board explanation after each warrant article, and there are links to more information on the town website. Whether it be the deliberative session, YouTube recording, or the PowerPoint presentation, or the budget.
But that document there will be on the website.
Correct. Hopefully this evening.
And hopefully everybody that lives on Maple Ridge is gonna come out.
Yep.
Just throwing that out there as a little friendly reminder.
Looking back at past voter guides that have been published, well before COVID, at the end, they used to include, a pie chart of the breakdown of the local versus school tax base, and just some other basic information, like if everything passes, this will be the percentage increase. I don't know if you wanted to include that. I was playing around with pie charts earlier that I could just plug in here if you wanted to include that additional information, or I wasn't sure if it was gonna make it more confusing.
It wouldn't hurt, I guess.
Okay,
I mean, we could always, this is gonna get posted, so you could always update it too,
right,
so.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if it looks good, easy to read, good information,
Okay.
I guess it can't hurt.
Just put a little date on the bottom
Of course.
for each edit.
Very good.
Okay.
Deep in thought, Tim.
No.
No?
Nope.
Nothing?
The only other one that I did not have any explanation for, and I went back to the draft minutes that Lori was doing up for deliberative session, was anything to do with, Article 18 for the Clean Water State Revolving Fund. The article itself is very explanatory. It's prescribed language, but I don't really have anything to support it. And I didn't know if you wanted to add anything in there or just let it flow.
Oh, that's the,
That's
that's that study,
The study for the phosphorus loading and
right.
remediation of Pawtuckaway Lake.
Did we have anything in the,
No, Neil
Maybe in
Neil
the-
Santos and,
right, we had nothing in the PDF?
no,
But Pam.
Yeah.
because they got up and,
Yeah, I think Pam Kelly's been posting online in support of it and trying to explain it.
Yeah, maybe we can grab something from them.
Okay.
Add to that.
It's not a short explanation.
Yeah, I know,
It's a very long,
I'm sure.
but you know what I'm talking about? Pam Kelly has put a whole thing out about it.
okay,
Yeah, right, and maybe just that, or link to it,
That's a better idea, actually.
because there should be,
I mean,
I don't know,
if you
does she
wanna
only
put-
have it on Facebook, or is it on PLIA website.
I don't know where it is. I got it as an email.
Yeah, it was on Facebook.
PRI email.
I mean, the only other thing I could think of is comparing it to the road study we did where,
Right.
Okay, for the culvert
Right,
study.
Culvert.
culvert, where
It's
we,
similar to the culvert study.
we did this and it ended up having zero tax impact
Mm-hmm.
and, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, good point. What year the culvert study was, that was only a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comments, feedback, anything else?
Did you have anything else for your town administrator?
No, I didn't get through the whole thing, so.
Well, we'll just make it an interactive document that is subject to change.
Right, right.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay. All right. For correspondence, there was an email that came in my absence from Jean Reed, additional information requested for the police department's UTV that we purchased. I have not generated a response to it. I actually have to look at what he's actually
Yeah.
looking, I'm pretty sure I had already responded to it in the first response.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what additionally he was really looking for, or understanding what additional he was
Right.
looking for.
He was looking for an explanation for an encumbrance of funds, but we didn't actually encumber any funds. You used a balance that was left over in the police department's operating budget plus ARPA funds, so. And what were you gonna say, Bob?
I thought he was saying he just wanted to see where either we were using state bid process or they already had gone through the specifications of how they came up with it.
Right.
He was saying where are the 3 sealed bids.
Right,
Per the purchasing policy.
yeah, he was looking for the bid process
Correct.
and something else.
The encumbrance, he was trying to say, where's the funds?
Okay. So I will draft off a response and make sure you get it before it goes out. There was another email that came in from a gentleman named Brendan McCourt. I believe he is a senior at Co-Brown. He was seeking community service hours for his graduation project, so I forwarded that off to the Recreation Department and Police Department, thinking that they might have some ideas for him to put in some community service. I got an email from Brett Rusnock, who is our new contact at New Hampshire DOT for the Route 4, 152, and what else is impacted? Yes, for that intersection improvement. They've requested time on your March 17th meeting to provide an update on what they've been working on. So I have that tentatively scheduled for the 7 o'clock time slot. And requested any information that they can provide in advance, just so we can get it out to the public. New Hampshire DOT is,
Does that have to be a hearing or anything?
nope, it's just a public informational thing.
Okay.
They said as they get closer to it, they'll start advertising public hearings down the road at both our level and to the public. New Hampshire DOT Department of Safety is readopting their marketing, sales, and possession of fireworks rules, which is Safe C 2600. There is a public hearing scheduled for this Friday at the Department of Safety for anybody that's interested. We have that notice.
Is that for municipalities or regular home?
It's for municipalities.
Okay.
Shauna Amos from Chimberg Development provided me with a copy of the performance bond at the amount that you voted on last week. And that was based on their progress to date. And I'm just waiting delivery of the original copy, so Dale can start working on the building permit applications that they have in the works. That is pretty much it.
Well,
Do we have any update on the police F-150 cruiser?
it's fixed.
Is it?
Yeah, it was fixed this Monday. She told us last Monday.
Oh.
I think the repair has been completed, but the electronics are still in the works.
Okay.
It's progressing.
I could be mistaken, but I don't think it's here.
I hadn't heard anything, but I wasn't here last meeting.
We'll see you last Monday.
Yeah, I was here last Monday, I don't
Yeah.
remember saying that.
I don't remember saying that either.
Well, maybe I was being more optimistic than I should have.
There is an email about election official training stuff. I don't know if we have to do any of these things. From Patricia.
Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to. I think that's more informational because we're on the Board of Selectmen and the elections are our purview, under our
Right.
purview.
Right, I know, but I didn't know if there's anything that we should be doing. So,
I think being familiar with it.
yeah.
Didn't you go through the training to learn to check people in and stuff like that?
No?
Oh, all right then. We good?
I guess we're good.
Assessing?
I'll go back to that. Seemed like so long ago.
I forgot about that one, that was from the other day.
So one's the tax levy.
I didn't see him in the meeting packet.
That
They
wa-
were-
it was from
Nancy.
Nancy last week, last Friday or whatever.
So they're both for the same parcel because one's the certification of yield taxes.
Correct, and the other one is the tax collector, the warrant for the tax collector to collect the levy.
Yeah, how does that, yeah, I'm not sure how to do that part.
Please
What
just
do we need a motion for?
make a motion to approve the certification and then make a motion to approve the warrant.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to approve the certification of yield taxes assessed for map 29 lot 8.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 And then I'll make a motion to approve the warrant for yield tax levy, map 29 lot 8.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. White pine is still big. Okay. Again, everybody know the action items for next meeting? Guys be all,
Is
who's gonna be
the-
chair, who's gonna be vice chair, and your board picks.
Is the address change still kicking down the road to that? Okay. Sorry. Still waiting for that,
The performance
the
bond
performance
for
bond,
Pawtucket
and
Ridge.
then once Dale submits the building permits, then we can, so like one more week.
Once he enacts the new addressing for Spruce Peak Drive, then we can move forward with those two address changes that are on Raymond Road.
Treat.
We have a non-public, Steve, you got anything else to say? Good.
Thank you, John, for your service to the
I
board.
just wanted to remind
Seriously.
folks,
Thanks, guys.
See you,
Yes, thank you, John.
Yeah.
and if people like the T-shirt that John has, the Historic Society will be selling them on election day.
Oh, good.
You can get one for your mother,
Perfect.
for Mother's Day.
There you go, Stephen. Always looking out for me. Appreciate that. So seeing no public comment, we do have non-public under A and C, I believe, right?
A and B.
A and B,
She highlighted C here, but yes.
okay. Anybody want to make a motion for going into non-public?
I will make a motion to move in the non-public for RSA 91-A:3 to A and B.
I'll second.
We have a motion, second, roll call vote.
I, John Decker.
Aye, John Moran.
I, Tim DeBrio.
I'm Matt Sherlin.
After this, when we exit non-public, we will be adjourning the meeting. Thank you, Nottingham. See you on election day.